What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Test Your Might, the internet's only video game debate show. Today, we will be discussing Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, and more. I am here with Cicero, a.k.a. Stubby Stan, a.k.a. the Mafia Lord, a.k.a. my friend. How's it going?
I am all of those things.
You are?
And somehow none of them. I am doing very well, sir. And you know, this is the reason for the season. I'm really excited to talk about this time of year, this most wonderful time of year when you're a gamer.
It's like it feels like another Super Bowl for me. You know, it's just like it's must watch. I just love this time of year. Justin, do you enjoy this time of year? You're here. How's it going?
Hi, I am here. The duck is here. I do enjoy this time of the year. I have a lot to talk about throughout this 3-day period of crazy nonsense gaming news that has come out to us.
Yes, there's so much to talk about that. Unfortunately, listeners, we are getting rid of the debates tonight because we want to maybe debate things by just talking about the news.
Need to give Cicero a day out, a week off from that last week debacle.
Mm-hmm. The people aren't feeling me. So let's instead talk about just the games and not the ideas coming from these idiots.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're this is why they don't pay us the big bucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. Any podcast app of choice or Spotify mobile. You could leave a rating there if you listen on Spotify. And hey, you may be listening here on YouTube because I got a little housekeeping for you. We have made the somewhat difficult decision because it's certainly, at least our roots, going back to even the 90s first when we were called that, and then we all started What the Fun. We have made the decision just to be Test Your Might. So we've kind of pseudo rebranded again, and that's because the team here, Cicero, Justin, Jelly, and I just kind of decided that we are way too busy to kind of revamp and revitalize What the Fun. So we're still going strong with Test Your Might, and so we just kind of made the decision to step back from the potential of What the Fun in the future, and we're just going to solely focus on our debate show. So that means we're bringing back some of the YouTube stuff. We are not parsing it out like we used to. We're just going to keep the long form content, and so if you guys just want to consume the podcast via video, then that's totally fine. We'll have it for you there. But obviously, we're going to also be in your podcast apps every single week, hopefully, except next week maybe, unless you guys decide to record something.
No, bro, it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day weekend.
I know, but you could
get out of here.
You could do hey.
No. Hush that noise.
We're recording on Monday.
Yeah, hush that noise. Listen, nobody needs to know that, and what we're really talking about here, so that people don't get confused. We're just streamlining, right? Everyone's getting into shape. Everyone's getting their hot guy and gal summer ready, and Test Your Might is no different, right? Our winter fun winter coat is being pulled off, and that tight Test Your Might body is being shown off to the world yet again. We've been incubating, we've been working out real hard, we've been sweating, doing hot yoga, and now that Test Your Might body is ready to be out there in the forefront. So make sure that you get to YouTube and you go and you find Test Your Might Pod. Is it Test Your Might Pod or Test Your Might Podcast?
Yeah,
we're not sure yet. We've
one
changed
of those
it to
podcast. Test Your Might Podcast.
Test Your Might Podcast. Go out there and look for it on YouTube. You can find it. You're there right now. If you're looking at my face, congratulations. You've done step 1. You know what step 2 is. It's to hit that like button. And step 3 is to subscribe. So do all of those things. You know what it is. It's the YouTube things. You can do them. Get them done. Make it happen, because this is the new form. This is the final form. Get ready, baby. Big things are coming.
Yeah, so Justin, you got a follow-up? No, just
Power levels over 9,000. We're here.
That's right.
We've made it. We took our time incubating, as Cicero said. Almost, like a Caterpie. We turned into that Butterfree, and now we're going to continue going down that road. And I'm sure fans alike love to see the reactions of the debates when we're laughing, when we're joking, the shenanigans that entail all of Test Your Might. You get to see it again and watch it with friends.
There you go.
Yeah. So we are, as Cicero said, kind of streamlining what we do. So thanks for your patience with everything that we've done over the years, and certainly look forward to the future of Test Your Might. So thank you for listening on any podcast app or our YouTube channel. Oh, gentlemen, we're actually going to skip what you have been playing because we have so much stuff to talk about going all the way back to Summer Game Fest, which was last Friday as of this recording. And then we'll talk about the Xbox Game Showcase as well. And then finally, we did catch some. I caught some of the Ubisoft Forward, and hopefully you guys caught some of it as well, and we'll chat a little bit about that. So let's get into it, gentlemen. We're going to start with Summer Game Fest 2024. We're going to go through everything it announced, and then we are going to hit up like our game of the show, biggest surprises, what are you most excited for, stuff like that. So let's go through the list, and feel free to stop me whenever. All right. Hey, starting off with the show, Lego Horizon Adventures, which is a Horizon Zero Dawn Lego game, essentially. So kind of this like family-friendly take on it in the Lego format. This, I will say, it did not look, from what I could tell, like a traditional Lego game. It just looked like a Horizon adventure, but Lego-ified. Justin, you excited for this one?
Of course. I was excited when they said it was also coming to PC via stream. But
via stream?
On the same note, yeah, via Steam.
Via Steam. I was going to
But,
say, whoa.
Yeah, via Steam. Well, yeah. It looked almost like a mix of a Lego game and then also like the new Lego Star Wars game, the Skywalker Saga. It felt like open world. It felt very graphically catered to the PlayStation. It looked very good. The dinosaurs, the mech dinosaurs, looked really good.
Yeah.
I was excited to see those, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be playing it very much. I don't think I will, honestly.
Coming out on the Switch too, Cicero. PlayStation kind of going a little bit multi-platform here with this one.
Yeah, sure. I think that the reason that they're doing that is because they want people to play these games, and obviously because of the genre being a family-friendly game, having it be a Lego game, it makes fiduciary sense to make it available for the platform where most of the family plays, aka Nintendo. So I understand that part. To me, actually, I know that some people have been lukewarm about this game. This was my this was the game that I was most excited about for the PlayStation that I've seen in the 4 days, prior to that, right? Like, we had the previous week we had the Sony game showcase and
The State of Play,
State of Play, whatever. I don't care, whatever. It was very, very blah as far as I was concerned. It didn't really excite me. I was more excited for Lego Horizon than I had been for anything that they had shown at the State of Play.
Interesting. I thought it was a very, very good trailer. So I would kind of agree with you. I think there was a couple from the State of Play that I think I liked a little more than this to dive into, but
wrong.
I still think it's a very strong start to the show. Did you say I'm wrong?
Yes, I did.
Hey, I said we're holding the debates for this episode. All right. Quidditch Champions launches this year. Hey, it's a Quidditch game. Justin, you're
Yeah,
probably the
that's cool.
biggest Harry Potter guy between
Minus
all
Joe,
three of us here. Yeah, minus Jelly.
The three of us, yeah.
But it's okay. He's not editing this, so.
Yeah, I definitely watched this trailer and thought the entire time that this was going to be DLC for Hogwarts Legacy, because when Hogwarts Legacy released, everyone was pissed off. There was no Quidditch, and it wasn't. It's a game, and it's a sports game, and it's standalone, and I'm okay with it. I haven't played a Quidditch game since I think, God, it's probably like Xbox or PlayStation 2. Like, it's been a while since
Has
the
there
Quidditch
been
game has been out.
Quidditch games?
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
there was one. Yeah, I remember playing it, but it looked good, and it definitely showcased the different places on the field or above the field that you could play as, and I'm sure that there's a fan base for it. I just thought it was going to be added DLC because Hogwarts Legacy needs that.
I don't know if it needs that, but I said I was holding the debates, so I will debate you. I didn't think this looked good. Honestly,
Really?
I think that what you hit the nail on the head. If this was the graphical fidelity that Hogwarts Legacy was, because I really thought that game was absolutely gorgeous, I think that it would have shown better. I think that the art style kind of failed this game, at least for me. That's just where I'm coming from. I think it probably will play fine, but I think graphically, I just didn't enjoy what I was looking at. So that's just me.
I do want to say that the character models reminded me of Fortnite. And I was like, where's the it definitely didn't look like a current gen, next gen title based on the models themselves, but I thought that the atmosphere and stuff were high. It looked great. But I don't know, that's up for debate too.
All right.
It looked like Hogwarts Legacy DLC. That's what like you said, Justin. That's what, and like you said, Mike, that's what I thought it was. When it wasn't that, I was kind of disappointed, or kind of like, I was just kind of confused by that, because am I going to pay $70 to play Quidditch?
Yeah.
Right? Like, really?
Yeah.
It feels very mobile game-ish.
Yeah. I would kind of agree with you. Like, I think that this needs to be $40, maybe $50 max for it to do well.
It should be a $20 DLC to Hogwarts Legacy.
I know, but I mean, they clearly didn't want to use the more realistic engine. So, yeah. Anyway, No More Room in Hell early access arrives this Halloween. Kind of another zombie first-person shooter game. I'm over the zombie motif. Have been for a while. Until we get to the Xbox showcase. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, this kind of looked fun. Cicero, you're yelling at me?
I'm right there with you. As I was watching this trailer, I was like, another zombie game? Really? Like, we're still doing zombies? So I was just kind of like, my eyes kind of glazed over as this trailer went on, because unfortunately I just wasn't interested.
I think me and Justin will have something to say about zombie games when we get to the Xbox showcase, but
something
this one,
cool about this one, like the 8-player co-op, that's wild.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that is cool.
That's like definitely.
I missed all of it because
I
wasn't paying attention because it was zombies.
Cicero's over there shielding his eyes. Like, no.
Counterpoint, I don't have 8 friends. Just kidding. Sorry, 7, including me. Anyway, let's hold off. Star Wars Outlaws showed a teaser trailer. Let's hold off until we get to Ubisoft.
Sure.
Civ 7. Justin is pumping his Z. This is why you need to go to our YouTube and subscribe, because Justin's excited. Bodily excited.
I think you should as well be, because it didn't show the trailers that we've talked about over the last few weeks for these strategic RTS games. It showed a visual masterpiece of different ages and voices going along with them. going through different set pieces and different things like that. It didn't show the battle boots on the ground. It didn't show the intense action. It showed the story and the captivating experience you get from the different characters of the game. I've been waiting. I want another Civilization. There's a couple RTSs I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit. I'm very excited about this one as well as a near future title.
I think, Cicero, I'll go to you for this. There was a little controversy behind this, and maybe not a big one. That's why I said little, but like 2K, I believe, came out and said we're gonna announce something from a beloved franchise at Summer Games Fest, and it said one of our biggest and beloved franchise. Like, do you think Civ fits that bill?
100%. 100%. What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Emphatically yes.
I mean,
Civilization is one of the few franchises that, from RTS at least, that has games concurrently coming out. Yeah. And they kept improving upon that and kept moving forward on different consoles.
Not only that, Civ is the RTS that regular gamers play. Right? Like, it's not StarCraft. It's not, one of these. It's not even Halo Wars, right? And the Halo Wars was a pretty accessible RTS. Civ is an RTS that people that don't normally play RTSs will play. And
you know why that is, right?
On top of that is it's the first RTS to really successfully make its way to consoles with Civ Revolution. So what were you gonna say, Jess?
The reason that is because of the turn-based nature of it. Right. It pauses in between turns and allows you to breathe instead of pushing you forward in live action.
I said RTS, but it is someone obviously is screaming right now. It's a turn-based strategy, not an RTS. It is a turn-based strategy. When we say RTS, a lot of people just say RTS when they mean strategies, not real time. But it is right, because it is a turn-based strategy. It makes it a lot easier and it's a lot more accessible to play and learn and do things. But yes, back to the original question, Mike. Emphatically, it's a beloved franchise.
I know it's beloved, but I don't know if it's their biggest franchise.
No, it's not. It's not their biggest, but it is definitely one of their biggest.
Yeah, and I thought that the speculation for like BioShock or New Borderlands was more apt to fit the bill of like biggest and most beloved, biggest and most beloved.
You forget that part.
I am definitely a fan of BioShock, Mike. Mm-hmm. There is a huge difference between the power of BioShock and the power of Civilization.
More people have played 2K. Civilization games than have played BioShock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, we need to stop debating. Come on, guys.
Well,
it's in our blood.
Silly questions.
We've been incubating.
I did not ask a silly question. That was a fair question. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets a release date. This one's for Mike. October 11th.
Dude,
I'm playing this day one. I'm playing this day one.
That was that I think that might have been the game of the show for me. So just because it's a Dragon Ball game and those games are just awesome.
They're just so fun, but also one of the coolest things about this, I don't know if you noticed this, Cicero, is that like there's going to be ways to branch the timeline, it seems. To sort of change the story. So like, maybe it's not Goku that beats Frieza. Maybe it is Vegeta or something. It's just like, which kind of is kind of cool that you kind of like get to see maybe a different story.
So what you're saying is you don't have to stand there and gather the sun's power for a third of the game.
Yes, I am saying that. Batman Arkham Shadow trailer introduces players to VR Gotham City. I personally
go ahead, Mike.
Didn't ask for this,
right.
but I mean,
it'd be awesome.
I won't be playing it. I get motion sickness.
Right.
So I mean, that's just the thing.
Well, let's be honest, Mike. You don't have to turn your head because you really can't. So
right. Yeah, you're in the couch.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Arkham suit did sort of adjust and grow, and they made it turnable.
Well, what I'll say about this is that the original Batman VR game was very much a like play by rails experience, and and it was kind of, I think it left Batman fans and VR fans a little wanting. Like there were very cool moments in it, but it was it was more of a tech demo than it was a game. So it'll be interesting to see how much more of a Batman game this particular game is going to be.
Well, and they did have some rumors, interviews after this showcase, and they did say that they did their best to capture the Arkham combat within a VR setting. So I think it's going to be a little more than, or it's going to be a lot more, I think, than an on rails sort of like just experience. I think it's going to be kind of more of a game, I would say. So, Street Fighter 6 is getting Fatal Fury crossover. The only thing I'll say about it, Street Fighter 6 it's such a pretty game. It is such a pretty game. I just want to play it just for the visuals, but haven't gotten it yet. Justin, rolling to you because Cicero hates these games. Blumhouse Games unveils Crystal Theater of Idols, Fear the Spotlight, and more. I think they announced 6 or 7 games, and it's kind of crazy that they've built these like mini studios within the Blumhouse umbrella that are creating just different experiences. There's a different horror experience for everybody, depending on what style of horror you enjoy.
Yeah, when I'm going to take this into movie trailers, but when a movie trailer starts off and I see Blumhouse come up on the screen, I know I'm in for a treat, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see
Halloween
what they
3.
do. Well, yeah. I can't wait to see what they do. Is that Season of the Witch? Is that what you're talking? Or
No. The recent
Ends?
one, Halloween Ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is what it is. It's your franchise, not mine.
That's okay. I hated that movie too. All right. My game of the show, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. First of all, Digital Eclipse is awesome. They do nothing but good work.
Yes.
I am totally in for a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers beat 'em up, especially after playing Turtles from last year, Shredder's Revenge.
The
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep. So Rita's Rewind, Shredder's Revenge. What's with these villains and their R words? You just never know. But also, what's really
alliteration,
cool is that,
baby.
I know. But what's cool about this is, Cicero, it seemed like they had some different styles of gameplay within the trailer, which was really awesome.
Yes. I said that What You Call is my game of the show. There was a tie. And I'm marked out for this, right? Like it's like a Power Rangers beat 'em up. Like, finally, right? This is a game and a genre that makes sense together, right? A license and a genre that makes sense together. I want to know what happens when they get in their Zords. I want to know what happens when they form the Megazord. I want to see all of those things, and I can't wait to talk to the people that make this game.
Yeah, this is going to be coming later this year. You can wishlist it right on Steam currently, and it will be coming to consoles, but that has not been announced yet. So I'm really excited for that because the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers beat 'em up from the SNES and Genesis. That was one of my first games, like just really that I sunk teeth into. So
I never played those.
Yeah, those are oldie but a goodie. Mecha Break sets beta test for this August. This is I'm hearing that it is a hero shooter, but with Gundams, with like mechs. So And it looked fast paced. It looked just visually stimulating. You might get a seizure from playing this game. You just never know. So yeah, that's Mecha Break. Justin, a game that honestly looked good. I think I'm going to maybe think about trying this at least. The First Descendant gets a July release date. The visuals looked amazing, and it is a free-to-play sci-fi looter shooter. So that's why I'm going to try it, because it's free.
Yeah, well, looter shooters are always good for the most part. And with sci-fi elements, why not? The exosuits, movement, let's make it fast-paced and free-to-play. Give it a try.
July 2nd.
Yeah.
And of course, we're skipping Cicero on this one, Justin, but you and me, Alan Wake 2, Night Springs. Good evening.
Night Springs. Wow.
It's already out.
The game inside of a game, the show inside of a game, should I say? But you sat there in front of a TV just watching it, just because it was interesting. It is a fact or fiction, a Twilight Zone-esque TV show inside
no, it is
of
Twilight
Alan Wake.
Zone. Just called Night
Yeah,
Springs.
pretty much.
It's not an esque.
This is one of my top. There might be a tie for me as well. This is definitely up there. And
you still need to play
I need
Alan
to,
Wake 2.
Yeah, I was actually looking at it on the store today. I was like, $46, huh?
It's free.
Yeah, maybe I should just pick it up.
Yeah, maybe.
I was debating it. I picked a different game, but
all right.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Shout out to Lance Reddick. Rest in peace, brother.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. That was one of his final performances. That
That's
and Percy Jackson. I think he was in the Percy Jackson Disney
That's
Plus
right.
show.
Yep. Yeah.
He was Zeus, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
What a wonderful.
That was
wonderful actor.
Yeah. Moving on though. Mike, probably your top of the show.
Skate. Actually, no. I was incredibly disappointed with this.
Wow. All right, go ahead. Take it off.
I thought that it overstayed its welcome. As far as like the sitcom or whatever, the like little sketch that comedian Robinson or whatever his name is, I forgot.
It felt like an Office episode.
He's funny. So like the jokes in there were funny. I enjoyed that, but how long has this been in development and we can't get some gameplay? Like I think this was very underwhelming. Cicero?
Yeah. Tim Robinson is the comedian's name.
Okay.
Yes,
he
is very funny. I was kind of feeling the same way. Like it in retrospect, it felt like they leaned more heavily into the bit because they didn't have enough to show.
Yeah.
And it didn't thematically, it didn't really fit, right? Like it just didn't seem like this whole M Corp is going out of business thing, whatever's happening there, things are terrible, but we're trying to hide it from you, but people are skating around. Like, I don't see how those things fit together. Maybe we'll find out more in the game as the game goes on. But yeah, it was just kind of all over the place. Yeah. And it didn't do a good job of focusing me in to get me excited for the game that they were trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the amount of customization, like as it showed the video that we did get, and them skating around the city, and like the half pipes and the rails and everything showing up, pretty much like out of nowhere. But there was so much variety that did pop into frames. I like that.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
My biggest thing is here, and follow this train of thought with me, and we'll get to it a little bit later as well. But Perfect Dark, a game that we know that was in development hell, right? Mm-hmm. Came out with a gameplay trailer that looked phenomenal. Again, we'll touch on it later. How come Skate, a free-to-play game that is in a franchise that is beloved and has been in development, we haven't heard anything about any development hell, can't come up with anything more to show me. Like, right. I'm fully anticipating this game. Like, I'm so excited for Skate. When Skate 4, or when this free-to-play Skate was announced, I installed Skate 3, and I started playing it again. You know, it's that sort of thing. Like, I love the Skate franchise, but they just needed to show more. I thought it was very underwhelming.
Pre-alpha.
Yeah. Pre. I'm excited for this. Valorant is coming to consoles. Really excited for that. Just because I suck at keyboard and mouse, man. Let me tell you, I need that aim assist.
Yeah, that's a really good game, but it's rough.
Yeah.
It's
so
rough to play.
Hopefully it will be. And there is only crossplay between the, or there's no crossplay. Sorry, but there is cross progression. So you're not gonna be just completely decimated by PC people. Among Us animated series clip and Outer Sloth revealed. Outer Sloth is Inner Sloth's new publisher for smaller indie games, which is really awesome. Among Us animated series clip was kind of cool, but also like, hey, give me some of that voice cast. We know who's in the voice cast. I'm really excited about that. So I don't know. Justin?
I agree.
Anything?
I agree.
Okay.
The animation style was unique for sure. I'm glad they didn't go into a 3D element. They kind of just went with hand-drawn kind of movement. I like that. Mm-hmm. I wish we could have seen some death animations. That would have been cool instead of just a spooky tentacle monster behind everyone. It was all right.
Well, Justin, you could leave the call for this one because Cicero and I will just gush about Dune for the rest of the time we have here. Dune Awakening story trailer. Cicero, I really enjoyed this story trailer. This game is one of my most anticipated. The only reason the Power Rangers one is my game of show over this is because we didn't see really gameplay, but the story really intrigues me. It's sort of this alternate timeline where Jessica, the Bene Gesserit, Paul Atreides' mom, actually had a daughter instead of Paul Atreides. So what you got on this?
But yeah, so I was confused by that, right? Like I was confused as to whether or not that was a thing that actively happened within the course of the game, or that was something that he was speculating, meaning that was something that he could force to happen to prevent all of the death and destruction that has come as a result of his father dying and House Atreides falling. So
I think it's sort of from the perspective of like Paul has this sort of power, and you see it within the books and the movies that he can see multiple timelines as well as their outcomes, and so he's kind of showing us this alternate timeline within this within this game.
All right, so
it ends up being an open world survival MMO.
Okay, so then this game is a dream.
Essentially, yeah.
That Paul Atreides.
That's what I got. That's what I got from it.
All right. I mean, if that's what they're doing, then that's what they're doing. I guess
I'm
with it.
I think they're in too deep, man.
Yeah. I mean, I have been reserving judgment on what this is going to be until I get to Gamescom.
Yeah. Gamescom will have
Gamescom they'll have a deep dive.
I think so.
So that will give us a lot more. It will reappear
at Gamescom, and then eventually it's expected to launch Steam, PS5, and Series X and S. So
right.
All right, let's. We got a lot to talk about with the Xbox, so let's kind of speed through Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That trailer was quirky and fun. Slitterhead, Silent Hill creator. Kichiro Toriyama. Justin, this looked a little weird. This seemed up your alley.
It was definitely weird. The jumping between bodies almost reminded me of like Watch Dogs, but at the same time you've got
Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, like but at this point it's like you're turning into monsters and stuff, and it's hey, I'm down to try something new from the sound, guys. Like,
right.
Go ahead. Like, it looked creepy, investigative. You're kind of solving a murder or something going on. I'm done.
Delta Force Hawk Ops. Wow, I can't talk. Trailer. This is a free to play, I believe, first person shooter. And it's on PC. It's also going to have a story mode that actually does the Black Hawk Down stuff from the movie. So that seems kind of interesting.
Or also from real life.
Yeah, well, that's too.
Yeah. Quality check. Thank you, Cicero.
Right.
All right. So yeah, that really happened. Killer Bean.
Yeah, it did.
What?
Dude, everyone
a
liked this
game.
trailer. Everyone liked this Killer Bean thing, and I'm just like, nah, it's not for me. I don't know. It just didn't.
It was
It's
weird.
so
It was
mean.
weird.
It looked
I don't
funny.
even really know what it is.
But it looked like GTA
It
meets
is a
Max
roguelike-
Payne.
It's a rogue game, a roguelike game, where you
A roguelike open box,
where you are
open
a
world
Killer
sandbox.
Bean
Okay.
Yeah,
living
I don't know.
his best life.
Okay.
It looks funny, but I'm not gonna. Nah.
All right. Wanderstop trailer reveals a cozy game with a dark secret. That's Annapurna. I mean, they have all those cozy games with dark secrets, so makes sense.
So yeah, and Annapurna makes great games. They also make great movies. The creator of this game is David Rendon, who made the Stanley Parable, which is also another really kind of like outside the box. It's not even outside the box. Like the box is in a different state. It's that far outside. So yeah, I'd expect the same kind of thing. So these are games that people aren't going to line up. You know, no one's lining up at midnight to play these games, but they're going to be games that, you know, you're like the best friend that you have that is like, you know, it's just a little off the center, that plays all of the weird games, but you're like, oh, that person has great taste. Like they know the good stuff. And if they recommend it, I bet it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really kind of outside of the box and not something that I would play. That friend is going to play Wanderstop and recommend it to you.
Yeah. No. If anyone caught the reference listening when I said your bucket is your best friend,
Yes. Yes.
I saw Stanley Parable on the screen, and I got excited, and then I was extremely let down. I was just like, I thought there was going to be a sequel or something crazy coming out. I'm a huge fan, and it's not my cup of tea.
They dangling that carrot in front of you, my friend.
It's a farming sim, and I do play those, but
New World Eternum. So this is the Amazon MMO, which actually did well when it released, is now going to be coming to console with this new sort of expansion update and everything. So if you want to try out New World, I believe it's free to play. You may need a subscription eventually, but you might be able to do some levels there. Pal World, Justin, get a new island, more pals. Are you gonna pal it up in Pal World?
Well, recently they did add a new raid boss, well, 2 bosses technically, and they added some new achievements. So I lost my 100%. So I went back in, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just grab the 100 and get out again. It's a fun game. I actually purchased it on Xbox just so I would have it because I was worried they were gonna take it down. So that way I would own it.
Oh, okay.
So,
fair enough. Fair enough. Monster Hunter Wilds looks fun. Crossplay on all platforms. It looks like a Monster Hunter game. Cool.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter games are cool.
Yeah.
Lots of text to read.
They're a lot cool. They're a lot cooler than I gave them credit for before I started playing them. But I don't know that I'm going to play this because, you know, there's too many damn games.
People go
looks
hard
cool.
on the lore of that game, of Monster
for
Hunters.
sure.
Like they read all
100%.
the different subtexts and all the different weapons. They go crazy for that stuff. So there's depth there for sure.
Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess Nabs July release date. I believe this is
That title's too long.
Yeah, sure. Path of the Goddess. I believe this
Debatable.
is also coming to Xbox Game Pass. So, Yeah, very stylized action game from Capcom. This game definitely has a place on Game Pass, but also it could do well in sales. I think that Capcom is just on another one, on another level. This game looked so good. It was a good ending. Phantom Blade Zero. We've seen it before, but now they're doing sort of like a gameplay tour where people can get hands-on with this. It's a very stylized action game with just frantic combat with parry systems and all that. It's kind of like a Souls Light, I would say. It definitely looked a little bit more action heavy and a little bit more forgiving than a Souls like, at least from what I can tell from the trailer. So, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this looked very, very good and very interesting. So. All right, Justin, I think Cicero said he had 2 games, Godzilla, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Goku, that's what I was going to say.
Dragon Ball
Z and Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
okay.
Yeah.
What was your game of the show here, Justin?
I'm going to have to go with one that we didn't mention, which is over at Supermassive Games. They're coming out with a game later this year called The Casting of Frank Stone. This is an interactive horror element game based out of the universe of Dead Until Daylight. What is it?
Dead by Daylight.
And it's like a Until Dawn like game where you create the story and go through it. It looks good.
Nice.
And I really hope, there's a lot of different monsters. There's a huge roster to choose from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Do some more. Throw in a yearly or biannually release of different games based on those monsters. Go for it. Give the backstories. Add depth to the characters for the game that's already out. I'm down. And I just love those experiences. It's a choose your own ending storybook. I loved them growing up, and I still do now.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it, so that doesn't count. Killer Bean is Justin's game of show.
I almost swore. I almost did a Cam Hawkins here.
No cursing.
Yeah, I didn't curse this whole episode.
All right. Let's do a fun little 1 out of 1 to 5. 5 being amazing, 4 being great, 3 being good, 2 being bad, and 1 being like kind of skip it. Like Cicero, what would you kind of give SGF Live here?
So I would, before we went through it, I probably would have given it like a 2.5 or 3. But now I think I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. Okay. Some of these games kind of reminded you about, okay, there was some hitters there.
Right.
Yeah. Justin?
So I watched the highlight reel of all the trailers and everything on YouTube, just like scanning through. And the amount of times I tapped the right side of the screen for this showcase was insane. I almost hit a record of like 260 seconds, like just going through because I saw things I didn't like. So I'm going with a 2. Cicero, I was at a 2 and I still staying at a 2. There was a few hidden gems, but other than that, I skipped most of this because it just didn't ring true for me. I don't know what it was, but other showcases this season did ring true. So
I'll kind of split the difference and go with a 3. I think the pacing was a little bit off, as kind of per usual with the Jeff Keighley stuff. But I do think
helped that
they
out.
had
I
some
sped
good
it up.
games. Yeah, I mean you did. Yeah, I do believe they had some good games and stuff to look forward to for sure. So,
I do want to shout out Jeff Keighley, and I know that he'll get maligned. I want to shout out Jeff Keighley in a positive way and say that while it doesn't always work, right? Like this, the Game Awards format doesn't work for Summer Games Fest, in so much that Summer Games Fest, that presentation felt like an award show. And I think what he was trying to do was create like the old style press conferences, right? Like you go to E3 and you'd see the Xbox press conference or something to that effect. And I think that there is there's still room for that type of show for gamers, or at least for gamers like me. I think that there are things that you can get from those types of shows. I just think that Jeff needs to look at the template that he's using and realize that he's got to tweak it just a little bit from the Game Awards format to a format that is more conducive to what this particular showcase is supposed to be.
You know, and just to give him his flowers a little bit as well from my end, the fact that they had a co-host, that he had a co-host, Joy, I believe's her name. I forget. But also, he mentioned the layoffs. Like, I think that, I think oftentimes, like, they get to the stage and they just kind of move on, try to get the hype going. But I do think that he had a very important message right at the beginning, for the state of the industry. So I do applaud him for that, because I think a lot of times, and you kind of see it with the Ubisoft stuff, you even see it with the Xbox stuff, that stuff isn't really mentioned, which maybe it is a time and place thing, but I think that was very warranted. So I applaud Jeff for doing that.
And that's the thing. That's another thing that people need to really understand, right? That while he's very connected into the industry, Jeff is one of us.
Yeah.
And he's not he's definitely not ground level at the same level that most people, or that people that are listening to this show are. But he's still very much a gamer. He's still very, very passionate about this medium, and that, it's like the Game Awards and this machine is a corporation, right? Like, it's his job to do these things, but he's doing it, right? Like, he is out there doing the heavy lifting to make this thing successful. And he owns it, right? So that he can put out a message that comes directly from him, and he doesn't have to be he doesn't have to kowtow to any particular console manufacturer or company or anything like that to put out a message that is palatable just for them. He's putting out stuff that he believes in. So I definitely applaud that dude for the stuff that he got to do. Jeff Keighley and I just want to say, Jeff Keighley sat next to me for the Cyberpunk reveal. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm a big dude.
All right, Jeff. We love you.
Jeff's not as tall or as broad. Yeah, as tall or as broad as I am. Sorry, Jeff.
All right. Let's save the best for last. So let's go on to the Ubisoft Forward, which was today. We could kind of breeze through this, except for the two, maybe three big ones for me. Let's start with XDefiant. Let's just get that out of the way. XDefiant did mention, and this has been a conversation for both Cicero and I, that, like, what is XDefiant going to do? And they kind of gave a sizzle reel of what's coming in season 1. Cicero, I called it. Capture the Flag is coming, or maybe you called it. I forget who, but Capture the Flag is coming. A new faction is coming as well. And then we got ranked progression, 3 free new weapons, and 1 new map per month. And, let's put this slightly in the context of what Xbox did with Call of Duty. That new map thing is going to come into play massively for this game, because Black Ops 6 is coming out with 16 multiplayer maps, brand new, at launch, and that hasn't happened for Call of Duty in years. So I think XDefiant doing this 1 new map per month is kind of catching up to, starting the ball rolling to make sure they're kind of caught up for when that releases. Cicero, you got anything on that?
Well, I mean, you mentioned the juggernaut in the room, and that's Call of Duty, right? And Ubisoft obviously knows what they're doing. They know the type of game they made, and they know what games are competitors in the space. So they know what they have to do in order to make themselves at least seem appealing, if not, outright competitive with the other products that are coming out. And they're not going to be, right, it's not going to be technically as good. It can't be, right? Like, this is X Defiant is a game that's been in development for a really long time, and they've spent a lot of money on trying to make it really good. But the Call of Duty franchise is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And that has been going for decades now. And they just keep getting better in terms of how they play the game. And objectively, it is technically excellent.
Yeah.
So your experiences may vary on the other stuff. But, the thing is that X Defiant's job at this point is to find a loyal audience and cater to that audience and try to make sure that they can keep that audience around after Call of Duty releases. So, good on them. I'll be interested in seeing what happens next.
If I were to pan my camera to my left or your guys' right, after the showcase, the Xbox One, I was really into Call of Duty, and I was like, I want to go play Call of Duty. I want to do something Call of Duty related. Joke's on them, because I didn't download a Call of Duty. I have X Defiant installed, and I haven't booted it yet. Sitting over on my Xbox.
That's
right
fun.
now. And that's the worry. I'm just a small little duck over here, but if they do something better than Call of Duty's doing, they're going to pull audience, and they need to maintain those numbers, because Call of Duty's coming.
I think it does. I don't know that it does anything better. It does do things a little bit differently. But the Venn diagram of what X Defiant is and what Call of Duty portends to be is very, like, that neutral area is very, very big.
Yeah.
It's very big. So, so the things that X Defiant does that Call of Duty doesn't do, they're important. But they're going to matter to specific people in very different ways.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to look at these two games technically and say, oh yeah, X Defiant is a
one-to-one
peer or a peer or an equal
Well,
to Call of Duty.
Cicero and I have had, conversations privately about this, that just, X Defiant has an uphill battle because, like, Black Ops 6 is quote unquote free to all Xbox players who subscribe to Game Pass. Like, okay, it's not free because they have to subscribe, but they could just simply download it. And, it's something that, like, X Defiant does need to stand apart, and I think that these sort of updates, they need to be, I don't want to say fast because, make the updates right, but they need to come out swinging. They need to be able to support. And I think, Cicero, you made a very good point, very apt point for this. They need to be able to cultivate that community and keep that community. I think that is mostly what's going to be vital for them. So, X Defiant's fun. So I want to continue to see them growing. But you guys, Star Wars Outlaws is top 3 like most anticipated game for me this year. From what I saw today, this game looks stupid fun and awesome, and it looks gorgeous. Like, I'm all in on this Star Wars Outlaws when it comes out. Justin?
The transition from getting in the spaceship, walking through it, and flying out into the atmosphere, and then immediately getting into a dogfight to save someone. It was smooth. Now I don't know if there's going to be loading screens there or not, but for the video at least, it seemed very well done, and it kept you going on the edge of your seat as if it was a movie, almost as if it was a intense Star Wars flick. And I love this little character, this animal thing. that she has as a
Yep,
friend.
Nyx.
Like her special abilities of scanning the environment or attacking for you,
Yes.
choosing to go sneak or not. I love the options to go through missions, and in a Star Wars world, going through Tatooine, going in the cantina. Let's do it. I'm down.
It looked phenomenal.
You ready to go back to Tatooine, the sandy island, the sandy
Well,
planet?
I mean, Cicero, before you go, yes, I agree with you. Tatooine, man, I'm done with it. But I'll go there for this. Cicero, before I go to you, I was listening to Kinda Funny's review of this showcase, and Greg Miller actually got hands on with this, and he says it was his game of the weekend. That's how good it was to him. So I mean, are you gonna touch this, Cicero?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch a lot of it. So the clip that the thing about it is,
If it's a hard copy, the little hole in the center.
right. The thing about this showcase, or not the showcase, but the reveal for Star Wars Outlaws, it brought me back to the Hogwarts Legacy reveal.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where they
that.
were like, you're gonna be able to do everything.
But wait, there's more.
Right?
Literally, like every 2 seconds. Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. And
Okay.
that is how I felt about this. So, like, I'm afraid because Starfield also had a reveal that was similar in vein to that, right? And we were all super excited about what Starfield was. And maybe Starfield is that today, but it wasn't the game. It wasn't necessarily like the game. Playing Starfield in October last year didn't make me feel the same way that the reveal made me feel about Starfield. And I'm hoping that when I finally do get my hands on Outlaws,
And you
that
touch it.
it will make, yes, and I touch it. The way it makes me feel will be the same as it makes me feel today, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna get more before the day too. So
Yeah.
it's
And
really if that.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch.
you know.
I didn't watch the deep dive though. I
you
didn't watch
didn't?
the deep dive, but
you got
I
it.
just watched the initial.
Watch the deep dive, and I think that I don't want to say your qualms will be quelched. Is that the right word?
Right.
But like,
Yeah, right.
but
Expectations will be calmed.
Yes, I kid you not. You will. I think you'll change your mind a bit.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, it almost sounds too good to be true, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the problem that I'm dealing with, and you know, like, I don't want my expectations to be too high, because then if I play it and the, you know, I'm expecting a 12 out of 10 and the game's a 10 out of 10, I'm going to be disappointed looking for those other 2 points.
I feel it in
So,
my gut.
I will
feel,
watch the deep
I
dive.
hear you. I feel it in my gut, though, Cicero, that this
All
is
right.
not a trap.
We haven't had a good Star Wars game
well
since
done,
Lego,
well done.
so
Yeah.
let's get a new one.
Yeah, that's true.
Sands of Time remake went into development hell. Now it's maybe out of development hell and coming out 2026.
2026.
That's for
Very
you, man. I've
excited
never
for
played
that.
those games.
That's a me thing, man.
That is 2026 is 2 years away, but also 12 years away.
Yes, I agree. That game's never coming out anyway. No, I'm
It's
just kidding.
Ubisoft.
Okay, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay deep dive. The one thing that I will say from it is it fidelity wise looked great even through a stream, but I like the chain. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Valhalla did this, but the camera perspective of where you are behind your character looks different in this game, and I'm kind of for it. It's a little bit more over the shoulder versus slightly up top,
Right,
above. And I think I like
I think that's
that
because of the
change.
sword gameplay. Like they're really
Yeah.
trying to get the samurai, like the katana gameplay, and they want to bring you down to the ground.
I really enjoy that change. What say you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jess.
What I was going to say is this is the first trailer / gameplay. I haven't played the most recent ones, but from the original, when you used to, hit your target, when you would eliminate your target, it would kind of go into the Animus white screen, and you'd be one-on-one with the target, and you'd have like a talk with the person that you're killing. When the execution happened in this trailer, it went like white with red blood highlights, and that's it. And it really like brought me back, and I liked it a lot. And it was brutal. I was not like, my jaw was on the floor when certain things happened with the katana. Obviously, if you watch the trailer, it was awesome. And I like that art style to just like, it kind of like simplifies it, but also intensifies it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm gonna hopefully try Mirage here soon, and then maybe even download Odyssey again and try to push through that. But Cicero, is the stuff that you've seen like doing anything for you? I never knew you as a Assassin's Creed person.
So I have played Assassin's Creed. In fact, I played my most played game on Stadia was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
What?
So
I don't know if that's it. I don't know what that means.
What's Stadia again?
Yeah. Right. R.I.P. Stadia. Let me tell you a story, kids, about a thing called Stadia.
Back in my day.
So, right. So, So I do enjoy them. My problem with Assassin's Creed games is they're very, very open worldy, and
that's why I was enjoying the new one.
Right, and I have a problem with open world games because I can't complete them. I don't have the time, nor the inclination to complete them. I just want to run around and collect things and collect all the things for all of eternity, and I've got other things to do with my life. The thing that was cool about this game was the brutality, the choices that you can make with respect to how you want to approach a particular situation, where you could go in loud as the samurai, or you can go in stealthy as the ninja, and that will kind of determine how you approach a particular mission. Those things were really cool. The thing that's bizarre to me, and I know that it's more of a coincidence than it is anything else, but like the last 3 years are like the year of the ninja, right? Like we've kind of fallen in love with these action RPG games that are set in feudal Japan.
There's even a Silent Hill.
Tsushima. Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, there are like 6 or 7 games in this genre, based in Japan. That's wild.
I'm still sitting here waiting for a new Tenchu Z. Like, when's it coming back? Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I don't know. I don't know.
I have the
owns that
copy of
studio.
Tenchu Z that you gave me in my dresser over there.
I need to bring it back. Those games were hard.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, they were.
The thing that I love about the Assassin's Creed games is you can see Ubisoft does a good job of putting the things that they've learned from other games into their Assassin's Creed games. So there's, what was that 4-player war game, the squad based game that
Ghost Recons?
No. It wasn't really squad based, but they were, you were in 4-player squads, and you were like fighting the Mongols. You were fighting the Mongols, For Honor. So like, you could really see a lot of
and bone. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right. You could see a lot of the For Honor DNA in the fights there. And For Honor's battle system was simplistic, but it worked really well.
Man, I will debate that simplistic. I sucked at that game.
Well, because it was rock paper scissors, right?
Yeah,
like
that's all it was.
High, low, that kind of stuff. But it was That
See,
was the point.
You
could
were
suck
playing
at it.
for honor. I was playing for shame because I was awful at the game. All right, let's skip the grade on Ubisoft and let's move on to the good stuff. Let's go to Xbox. And let's start.
What about
with the grade.
Far Cry 7?
It wasn't announced.
I know.
I want to start with the grade before we get into game by game. Gentlemen, our scale is 5 out of 5. This was a 10 out of 5. Like, you guys,
Xbox does it again.
this was, and Cicero, you and I were talking about it yesterday. This may have been like one of the best showcases Xbox has ever done, and I'm not trying to speak in hyperbole. I'm trying my best not to.
It was seriously. It was probably top 5 press conferences ever.
Yeah, it was
In terms
so
of-
good.
Yeah.
I do want to
Justin?
say, Cicero, you were really close with that next gen refresh. Really
Yeah.
close, but
Yeah, if I had
don't-
said 2
definitely doesn't
terabytes,
count
right.
it. Definitely doesn't
Right.
count.
If I had said 2 terabytes, did I say 2 terabytes? I may have.
You didn't
It's
say
all right.
a white version
It's
of
all
the
right.
S.
We're not
the X, but-
debating this episode. It's all right. We're not debating.
You did not say a digital only. You were talking about VR and stuff, but you were really close. I was like, oh, something's coming.
Oh, that's coming. The VR
Yeah.
stuff is coming. The handheld and the VR stuff is coming. Sarabon's going to announce that. But go ahead.
I mean, Phil Spencer had an interview
Debatable,
with,
but okay.
with our friend Ryan McCaffrey
Yeah.
afterwards, and
Right.
he all but confirmed a handheld. Like,
Right.
I'm very
But I
excited
think
for
there's
that.
more.
Yeah.
I
But
think
wait,
there's more.
more. I don't know about
There's
that.
more.
We'll see.
Yeah,
All
10
right.
out of 5 for sure.
10 out of 5. This was great. Okay. It did kick off with Black Ops 6. It was kind of like a gameplay trailer. Let's get back to that later because they did a whole direct. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
You guys, this trailer for Doom: The Dark Ages was so freaking hype. I'm stoked. Like, I'm going to install Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I'm going to play them. Like, I played through most of 2016, haven't touched Doom Eternal. I need to play those games because this looked amazing. Justin.
Yeah, when the trailer first opened up, I was like, "Oh, are we getting Hellsinger 2?" No, wait, that's the Doom guy. Oh my goodness! And then it all clicked, and I was like, "Finally!" You know, people said that Eternal was the end; they weren't coming back, and here we go. Better than ever, looking glorious, looking so good.
Oh yeah, so good.
Oh, got it. I can't wait. Cicero, Doom guy.
Yeah, I'm old, man, so I know Doom. I know Doom pretty well. So
Doom 64. Let's go.
So watching this showcase or being in my house while this showcase was on was probably, it must have sounded like times when I'm watching a sporting event. Right, where like my team is playing, the Knicks are playing, and they're blowing a team out by 30, and they're just doing all of the amazing things that you get. Because I was just I mean, it was
Screaming.
Right, there was a lot of marking
Doom
out
guy
going
crossed
on.
over LeBron James.
Right.
Dunked it on.
Oh baby, this. There was a lot of marking out in this showcase because you used to have to wait 3 days to get the type of content that you saw in this showcase. In this one showcase, you used to have to go to 3 different showcases to see all of this stuff. And then you'd come out of the week and say, oh, man, it's going to be an exciting year, a year and a half for gamers or for this console or what have you because of these games that are coming. But, yeah, it was all in one showcase. It was incredible.
100%.
So, yeah, Just keep going.
All right,
Keep going.
sure.
State of Decay 3. This is what you were talking about before. When
Yes.
you were talking about zombies.
So
right?
Justin and I actually went really hard into State of Decay 2. We played a lot of co-op together. And the reason why State of Decay 3 for me will be different is because with State of Decay 2, it kind of had that board game element where you like were manipulating your house, building, places.
Base building, pretty much.
Yeah, base building, and it had this sort of like board game vibe to it, and it wasn't all predicated on the action. I think there's so many of these zombie games nowadays are more predicated on the action, and like the Left 4 Dead style or whatever, the the shoot 'em up gun, guns blazing, like let's get out of this horde of zombies. Whereas State of Decay 3 has this sort of like survival board game, like tactical strategy feel to it, which is what sets it apart. And Justin and I had a fantastic game with State of Decay 2, bugs and all, because we played it at the start. But I'm hoping that they come out swinging with this, no bugs. Word is they're working with the Coalition to really hone in on Unreal Engine 5 so that there's no bugs as well. And so I think this game has a lot of recipe for success. Justin?
Yeah, and don't take Mike wrong by saying that it's not, focused on the action, because it does have those moments. It most definitely does.
Yes, but
it also
it's not
has
all of it.
slower gameplay. It also has the strategeries. It has those base building elements. And clearing out different outposts and finding resources and bringing them back and providing for your community that you build. This trailer almost added another piece to the puzzle for me. With 1 and 2, you got characters, survivors that you would bring in, and they'd live in your community and they could die, but there wasn't really in-depth story or care about the survivors. You'd get another one, sure, they die, you get another one, whatever, you keep going and finding survivors. But as for this trailer, it made it so much more emotional and impactful for each character. And then when at the end of the trailer, when it panned out and you saw all the different pieces of different characters that they've lost over it and no one's ever forgotten, it really impacted me. And I can't wait to see where they go with it. Improving on all of the elements of the sneaking in and slowly opening something opposed from making a lot of noise and doing it. These little tiny actions you do throughout State of Decay is completely different comparatively to other zombie games that are all about the action, and that's what makes it good. I can't wait. I hope they iron out all the bugs, and I hope it looks as good as it can with Unreal. Yeah,
it should be Unreal. That was dumb. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Dragon Age: The Veilguard trailer reveals a better look at BioWare's next RPG. This is a rename of the game. It used to be called Dreadwolf. Cicero, Dragon Age fan? This trailer was fun.
Yeah, the trailer was fun. I played Inquisition. It was good. And probably was great, but it just didn't hook me. For some reason, I have difficulty with many fantasy games in interactive form. I love the genre in other mediums, but in interactive form, sometimes it takes a special fantasy game for it to.
Unless it's Baldur's Gate 3.
Dragon Age didn't do it. Yeah, because Baldur's Gate 3 is just D&D.
Yeah.
Especially
it looks
you put
so
the turn based on, right, and it looks great. Well, I mean, this game is going to look great too. So
And
there's a huge fan
but
base.
I'm very excited for Dragon Age fans.
They did have a gameplay reveal that I did not watch. Any of you catch it? It was today, I believe.
The Dragon Age
for Dragon Age,
no.
Okay, yeah, they did have a reveal today, I believe. So
okay,
you could go check out the gameplay. But
sure.
Yeah, Fallout 76 has an update. You will be able to play as a ghoul coming in 2025, which is really awesome.
Trailer.
Great trailer. Fallout Fallout is going to be big for a while. That TV show was amazing, and Fallout 76 had a... Yeah. Cool. Starfield, Shattered Space. Cicero's still trying to gather all his resources in that game, so... Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this DLC. I'm excited to go back into Starfield. I probably haven't played Starfield in 10 months. Not 10 months, but at least 6 months.
Yeah, it hasn't been out for 10 months.
right, but at least 6 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see where the game is now. And maybe, I love the fact that we're in a space in the present where a bad game or a game that didn't live up to its promise still has the chance to be developed and worked on so that it can evolve into the game that we thought it was going to be, and then even surpass those expectations.
100%.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Starfield do that.
Always good to see those sort of renaissance, may be the wrong word, but just kind of like the No Man's Sky effect. Like, hey, this is good in the future. World of Warcraft: The War Within gets release date trailer. Man, does anybody do cinematics like Blizzard? Like,
No.
Nobody does, and we'll mention the Diablo one coming up too. So, anyway, if you're a World of Warcraft fan, that looked amazing for you. So enjoy. Oh man, just such a sneaky game for me. I thought the combat looked so cool with the turn-based and stylized as well. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. 2025 release date, coming to Game Pass. It's kind of like this fantasy RPG with the turn-based strategy. Looked really fun. I think that's one that easily will warrant a download for me, just from Game Pass. So, yeah. Oh man, Justin, how good did South of Midnight look? Like,
I think it's because it was so random, and no one it was just like a quirky, unique way to traverse around the landscape with the kind of fantasy elements along the way, with a good lead. I love the art style on it. I love the way that the creatures look and the way that they speak. So like the voice acting it's stellar in this. And it's because it's a one-off. Like, I've never heard of it. I've never seen something like it. It's unique. I'm down. I can't wait.
Yeah. Cicero, you down for this? This game looked incredible for me.
No, it sucked, bro.
Yeah, I know. You hate it.
Yeah. No. Of course. I'm all about it. The art style is great. It's got that stop motion animation style. That's really good. And kind of stop frame, stop motion animation plus like that clay type of thing. It looks like a Wallace and Gromit style of Americana animation in the cutscenes, and then we actually got some gameplay. I'm all about this game. I can't wait to play it.
I mean, you just hated it because it stopped you from watching Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater for a couple extra minutes. Yeah, and maybe it's just me. I thought the trailer looked a little off. Kind of looked like a PS3 game, which I know it was, or like an Xbox 360 game.
Really?
But
wow, I didn't feel that way at all.
In the movement, like in the movement.
Oh
yeah.
But that's how they
that's
move,
how it is.
right?
Yeah.
That's how the engine works.
So it looked.
Yeah, I
good.
kind of ignored
it.
That.
It looked good. And
Sure.
I'm not a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I haven't played any of them actually. So
wow. Okay.
So like this definitely showed to the Metal Gear fans like perfectly for sure. I bet. So
yeah, I'm just glad we got to see Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about. But I'm really curious to know how are they going to do that boss fight. I'm
Well,
really curious.
they aren't. That's not in this game. That was in Solid. That was in the first one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That was in the first one. So,
well,
moving on, because we don't know anything about video games. Sea of Thieves is going strong with more content in season 13. You could play as a villain now.
This is another game where we were just talking about with Starfield. Sea of Thieves obviously was much better received than I think Starfield was when it hit the masses. But I think there was a lot more apathy surrounding Sea of Thieves, and then also people were delighted by how it looked and how it played, but there wasn't a lot to do. So I think people were clamoring for more to do, and here we are in season 13 where there is a lot more to do. So in terms of games where you can be on a ship and sail in the seas, there are a couple of them. I think this is the best one.
Oh, you're not a Skull and Bones fan?
I don't think Ubisoft.
They're gonna have a dragon now.
It's a
Sea
Black
monsters.
Flag or a Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yeah.
All right. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. They called it a Souls-like, or a Souls-light, or something like that.
Explosive Souls-like.
Yeah. This looked awesome again. You guys, we're trying to not be hyperbole here, but this showcase just, it had all the stuff. This looked fun. The action looked incredible. The traversal looked really cool too. With the it seems like there's this god fox type dude. Maybe his name's Flintlock. I don't know. But I'm playing this game. I'm trying it out. It's coming out July 18th, too. And straight into Game Pass. Look at that.
Yeah. When I grade a showcase, I don't think about it just from my perspective. Right, I look at the games that are for me, and I look at those games and say, "Hey, this is the type of game that I would play. Do I want to play this specific one?" And if the answer is yes, or I'm excited about it, then obviously that raises my expectation. But then when I look at other games, that I'm like, "Oh, that game is not for me," but I understand I know enough about why this game is not for me to know why it is for other people. Does it have more of those things? Does it do the things that those people like in ways that are innovative and new? Then if they do, then then I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a great game for those types of players. The thing that was great about this Xbox showcase is that it catered to all of those players.
Yeah.
Right? All of them, right? So you've got you've got your Souls-like, you've got your indie games, you've got your first-person action games, you've got your RPGs, you've got there was everything was there. Everything was there. And this is another one of those games. Yeah, I'm not going to play a Souls-like. Here's a Souls-like that looks really good and is doing Souls-like games a little bit differently than the other ones. So why not?
Yeah. And not to mention, you mentioning that there's something for everybody here. The power of it, though, is that most of the games shown are going day one into Game Pass. You just have that ability.
I don't think there was one that isn't.
There's a couple.
There were a
Metal Gear
couple.
Solid, World of Warcraft.
Right, the third-party games are... Third-party games aren't because I don't think Dragon Age is going into Game Pass day one.
No,
but it may.
Not. Yeah,
it may.
You just never.
Yeah.
You never know these days.
Know.
But
right.
All right. A game that wasn't going to come to Game Pass because we didn't think it was going to exist, but it actually exists. It's Perfect Dark, guys. It's perfectly here.
It looks amazing.
And Justin, take it away,
dude. I was an N64 fan back in the day. I'm old, sorry. Bring it back. We thought it was canned. We thought it was out of the box. We were not expecting it. That's for sure. It was a sin.
I don't know
to
if it
none
was
chance.
canned, but like it was not expected
rocky.
to be
Yeah,
here.
it was
That's
rocky.
for sure.
It's Duke Nukem forever.
And then we see this trailer, and the floodgates open of nostalgia. The floodgates open of beauty of this gameplay, this lead character. Bring it back.
Joanna Dark.
Cicero, I know you played N64, and I know you played Perfect Dark. Not so much the sequel, but the original.
I played Perfect Dark Zero on the 360. I played that at launch. And I was one of the people that enjoyed it. I really did. I thought the
More power to
multiplayer,
you.
like, for what it was, right, as a launch title. They're very.
Well, then you should be
few
even
launch-
more hyped for this.
Right, there are very few launch titles that reach the status of Halo or or Super Mario Brothers.
Oblivion?
Or something to that effect. But for what it was, I thought it was actually pretty good. And this trailer was incredible, right? It borrowed from some of the best, most underrated games in our past, right? So there was a lot of Mirror's Edge in the way that she was traversing.
Exactly.
There was a lot of Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, whichever Deus Ex game you wanna talk about, with the cyberpunk techno stuff, and then there was good voice acting, and it looked incredible. So. Who knows what the scope of this game is going to be? Who knows how big it's going to be? But at least for what we saw today, or what we saw at this showcase, that was a many steps in the right direction.
100%.
Yeah.
Justin, I'm actually excited for this game, Age of Mythology Retold. I do want to get into an RTS, and I think this one might be it because I love mythology. You gonna play this when it comes out?
What's that game? I've never heard of it. It's only been in
Yeah.
my wish list for like 18 months. Like since they announced it, I've wanted to know more. And finally, lo and behold, we get a release date. And not only that, but it's coming to Game Pass, and it's coming to Xbox, and it's coming to PC. They are doing the Age of Empires method with it, I'm sure. Bringing it over to the consoles, but I'm going to be on PC for sure. I can't wait. Finally, I have a date to it. It's not just in a wish list on my Steam. It's got a date there, and I don't even have to pay for it. I'm getting it right in Game Pass, so
Yeah, 100%.
let's go.
The cinematics once again heralded from Blizzard here. Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred expansion is coming October 8th, 2024, and holy, I'll just say it, hell, did this look
Apropos.
incredible.
That's what they do.
It just looked so good.
Every cinematic in Diablo 4 looked that way.
It was a cinematic trailer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
For sure.
like cinematic trailers are supposed to look great. This
sure.
one looked great, even for given the standard of cinematic trailers. But this is case in point what I was talking about in terms of games that I have no interest in, but can see those people that are interested being excited about this, and I'm excited for them because I gave Diablo 4 a shot, and it's not that the game is bad, it's that I can't deal with the seasons and having to start over and doing all this.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to rush through a game to get to the end and do all the stuff so I can get to the end game and do end game content. I don't have it in me for all of those games, and Diablo doesn't respect my time, but that's okay. For other people, it's perfectly fine.
All right.
I haven't been back. I beat it and I haven't been back.
Well, I did hear that they did some updates to the game.
Oh, yeah.
and it's definitely in a good state right now as far as like some of the loot drops as well as like progression and all that. So yeah, but Fable Fable comes up next from Playground Games. And let me tell you, these guys at Playground, they know what they're doing. Like, I mean, they make car games, but now they make Fable. And I'm just saying this looked great. You know, a little bit of gameplay, which was kind of cool. But they're just hitting all the notes with the comedy as well, with the story coming 2025. So they're calling their shot a little bit. You know, as far as when it's going to release, hopefully next year is going to be a good one with Fable here. So
that it's going to be interesting to see when they release it.
Yeah.
Because
GTA.
Because we talk about juggernauts, right?
Yeah.
You know, Microsoft they own games, right? Outside of the games that Sony and Nintendo, for you know, their studios that Sony and Nintendo own themselves, they own games, except for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, they don't own GTA.
Right. And GTA 6 is coming out. So like, when are they going to release this Fable game? And are they going to be ballsy enough to say, we're going to release our game when it releases and just have that be what it is? Because it's releasing into Game Pass, I think that it removes some of the anxiety from gamers. But you still have that anxiety when it's time to play. Yeah. So
Fable, like the you know, the fidelity and like the graphics and all that and just the nature of the game, it feels like or it looks at least like it has fall game written all over it. But Fable to me kind of feels like a summer game, maybe kind of like where that Star Wars Outlaws is. Like Outlaws is coming like August 30th, so maybe that's sort of like a good area for Fable, and that would be a precursor, I would say, to GTA. So
I would think so.
I would. I don't think anybody really wants to release their game in 2025, like just with GTA. I mean, you could be 8 months out.
We're having
GTA.
game delays again, fans. Sorry.
All right. Frag Pump. Oh, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was 2 weeks ago, Mike, where I said I don't play hero shooters. I don't like hero shooters. I don't like the concept of them. And then here comes Fragpunk out of this random box and letting me change the rules with these wacky cards during gameplay. I'm like, all right, I'm playing this one. I know I said I don't play them, but this one caught my eye, and I was like,
yeah.
Did you see the like Inception twist they did with one of the cards? It was wild what they were doing to the maps.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of like it's kind of like a buying system like CS:GO where you can, purchase the card. I mean, there's cards like Big Head Mode where obviously it increases the chance that you will hit your opponent's head because they're bigger, right? So, yeah, I thought that this was a very, very unique and interesting take on that 5v5 hero shooter, and I'm fully with you, Justin. I'll certainly try it out because I think that has a chance to be very interesting and cool.
It reminds me of the card game Flux. I don't know if you've ever played Flux.
I have Batman Flux.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but it reminds me of the card game Flux, and
yeah, you get to change the rules.
Yeah, you get to change the rules whenever you have a card that suits it. Yeah, and I love that for the hero shooter genre. Again, we go back to the Sony State of Play where they had their hero shooter. And everyone was excited, right? Everyone was excited for the game until they found out it was a hero shooter, and that's because, right? They're all the same, but now we've got one that is at least attempting to do something different, and hopefully it sticks.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the cool things about this one is like the ability to add more content after has got to be pretty streamlined because. What are we going to do this month? Add low gravity. What are we going to do this? Just add a new card and just have new rules that you can modify throughout each game along with maps or whatever. But, we could have community votes on what rules should be, come out with the best rule. Yeah.
Sure.
It could if it's successful, it could go far and it could have a long tail.
Yeah. Certainly time will tell, but I do fear, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because obviously we don't know the game yet, but like I do fear the potential for like a pay to win situation depending on what cards they base into their microtransaction sort of thing. But you just never you would give them benefit of doubt that wouldn't be a thing, but who knows? There
you go. They exist in the world today. They know what they're doing.
I hope so. I think that they have a good looking game on their hands. So, Winterboro, a cozy survival game where you play as a little mouse. Watch out for those owls coming to Game Pass.
Indie game gonna indie.
Yeah. Another game that's going to indie from Annapurna, I believe. Mixtape. This game looked really, really interesting. It's from the Artful Escape team, which was another stylized sort of like adventure game. This one is a coming of age story where they will go through like music of artists like Iggy Pop, Smashing Pumpkins, others like that, and it does come to Game Pass next year. So this game looked like it had a very, very interesting style and everything. So
if you thought the best parts of Ready Player One was the music,
Folgers in your cup.
Yeah, if you thought the best part of Ready Player One was the music, then Mixtape is the game for you.
Yeah, sure. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy, you might.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Life is Strange returns to a classic character with a new entry. So Life is Strange Double Exposure. Justin, did you ever get into the Life is Strange series?
I played the first one. I did not play the second or the third, if there is the third one.
So there's
a lot of them.
Oh, really? There's more?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm behind. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the art style. This one, like with being in two different personality, like different
realms.
It looked interesting, and it worked for like solving crime or whatever, trying to save somebody's life.
They're doing something.
Solving crime.
Trying to save your best friend's life that's not alive in
Yep.
This dimension, but she's alive in another one. It's crazy, and it's a unique story. So they're good at storytelling, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about the Life is Strange series, so I'm really excited for this.
All right, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
So can I tell you guys something? Yeah. This trailer for Flight Sim, it looked good. It almost ignited a flame for me. So I spent a day downloading the 138 gigabytes of Flight Simulator just to boot it up, and then have to download additional content afterwards. And then have to restart the console because you just have to do that, and then get stuck in an still updating, looking for updates screen indefinitely, and then have to search online for an update, and then they say, oh, it's on PC too, it's having this problem, and then I just uninstall it and gave up.
Well,
I want to play it.
2024 doesn't have those issues.
Yes, I want to play it.
Right.
It was so good when I did play it. Bring it back. Come on, fix it.
All right.
So this is the sequel to Flight Simulator. Now we're up to 24. Oh man, this looked great. Great.
Well, yeah, it looked great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
day
first
one,
person. Let's go.
Install. I will play it.
I'm worried about this game. I'm just gonna go on record and say that I'm worried
tired.
about this game.
I'm trying to speed up this podcast.
Right. I'm worried about this game. I know.
Why are you worried, Cicero?
I know Machine Games' track record is great, but the parts where we got to see actual gameplay felt like a licensed game. In not a good way, and I'm
You're talking about like
hoping
the
that,
first person whip gameplay.
yeah,
and that
yeah.
kind of stuff
Well,
that
the
we did
first
see?
person whip gameplay, the punching, the fighting, and that kind of stuff. They felt like licensed game stuff. Like they felt like discount bin, or not, not necessarily discount bin, but a licensed IP that maybe like a VR experience or something like that. I'm hoping that
awesome.
I'm wrong. I'm hoping that the game is going to be in depth and do stuff. But I'm very nervous. I know people are really excited about this game, but I'm very nervous.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think this is one of those games that may have showed the worst in the show, but still very good. I will say cautiously optimistic about this game. Like I think that you are right, Cicero, that maybe it looks a little off, but Machine Games is good, and they know what to do. Their last game, Wolfenstein 2, was phenomenal. So we'll see. I think it's just gotta be. It's gotta be one of those that, like, spawns a franchise for Xbox. Like I really do think that this could be the start of something great. And Indiana Jones is a good IP, so I'm hoping you're right, Cicero, that I think that it will be better when we get hands on it, So all right, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. The most confusing game ever, because it did a splash screen that said like "no longer live" or something like that, so everybody thought that was the game, the title, and then it went over to this Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Again, another stylized sort of like action game, action RPG. Looked amazing in its CG trailer here. Coming to all the consoles actually, so PS5, Xbox, and PC. Avowed. If there's a game that I'm actually worried about, Cicero, it's actually Avowed. I think this. I don't want to say that this trailer did a disservice to the game, but I don't know if it's been shown really well.
I think this is the best that this game has looked.
Really,
within this trailer.
Okay.
I
thought the
less
best was
impressed.
during the direct, the developer direct
I didn't
earlier
like
this
it
year.
then.
So
Yeah.
okay,
So
fair enough.
taste is subjective. Taste is subjective. So
Yeah, but we all like pizza, so
sure.
all right. Justin,
I'm excited.
Avowed. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely excited.
All right. Adam Fall channels Fallout in first trailer. This one's coming to Game Pass. That one looked interesting. I don't think I'll touch it.
Very interesting, like environmental aspect to it, like storytelling wise. Like
How is it
where
going to
you
be
are.
different thematically from Fallout? Is what I want to know.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, that is an interesting question,
100%.
but like, it looked great.
It did.
I'm not going to discredit that.
Right,
It
it
definitely
did.
looked good. It set the environment's tone very well. There was no green hue. That's a big difference from Fallout.
Right.
But other than that, that's the real question, Cicero. How is
No
it gonna be
green
different
in this
from Fallout?
game. Absolutely no green.
It
Assassin's
says
Creed-
packed with color and deadly.
Yeah.
It has color in it. That's one of the key points right there. Review.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed showed another one there, so another one. Okay. Stalker 2. Did this not
Look at this.
incredible?
They always do.
Long waiting.
Looked phenomenal. I want to just applaud these developers for doing God's work in what is clearly hang on. What is clearly the worst situation to develop a game in. I mean, they're middle of the war.
Right.
So I applaud them that it even looks this good, this incredible for what they're going through. So we're with you in Ukraine. And yeah. All right, Justin, what?
This is the developer that literally said, "We'll develop the game once we're done fighting on the front lines."
Yeah,
These are the ones.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
So
Here it is.
This gave me Crisis vibes, in good ways.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like frenetic action. Like it it was somehow both familiar and completely foreign at the same time. Like, you know that you have played games like this, but you've not played this game.
Yeah.
You know, and you haven't played a game like this.
Yeah.
So I am excited for what Stalker 2 will be. I don't know that I'm gonna play it. But I will love to see what it is once the game is released. And
I didn't realize that there was going to be that much like supernatural stuff, Cicero. Is that part of the franchise? Like,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that. So, excuse my ignorance, friends. September 5th for that one.
Yeah, what it did was when the camera panned up and you're looking at the apartment buildings and you're looking at Chernobyl. It took me back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like the OG, with that one multiplayer map that you were literally playing next to like the Ferris wheel and stuff.
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah,
nostalgia hit me.
nostalgia. New Xbox consoles, cool.
Yep.
Moving on, digital, upgraded storage. Oh,
Digital,
there is one that has like stars on it. It's like a Galaxy thing.
The Galaxy edition. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 terabytes.
Not a Samsung.
600 bucks. Yeah, $600. Which, so I just want to say this: it is cheaper to buy the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X than it is to buy
the expansion
card. The expansion card by a lot, actually. Like, you could buy the Galaxy Series X and a Series S for about the same price as buying the X and the storage card. So
you heard
Does
it here
Uh,
this have
first.
the port on the back though?
Yeah,
Like,
it
can I
should.
get the
Yeah.
Galaxy Black and then also put my terabyte in it?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just another. It's the exact same one with a new skin and a bigger hard drive on the inside.
That white Series X does look sleek without the distro.
Sure. Okay.
And one more thing, Sarah Bond.
Yeah, didn't see this coming.
Gears of War E-Day reveal trailer. It is a prequel game. I was actually confused. I didn't understand that was Marcus Phoenix for a little bit. And then obviously fan favorite character Dom grabs him and says it. So it's like, oh man, dang, that's Marcus Phoenix.
the boys.
Yo, this is gonna be epic. Ladies and gentlemen of the podcasting listening world, Gears of War is the reason I bought my Xbox 360. It wasn't Halo. It wasn't Viva Pinata or Cameo.
What?
It was Gears of War.
Perfect Dark Zero and Gears of War.
No, it was Gears of War, not Perfect Gears of War, because that game looked incredible, and this game, obviously, I mean,
They're using Unreal 5. Unreal 5 is going to look amazing.
It's going to look unreal. 2026, maybe 2027. Like, what are we thinking on this? Like, Cicero, what do you think the earliest we could potentially see this?
I think we're 2026 is probably reasonable based on us getting the trailer now. If it's any later than that, then it's got to be it's got to be a launch title for the next generation.
Justin, 2026?
24.
You feeling that?
No, I'm just
This year? Whoa.
And it drops 3, 2.
Let me hit this button. No, I'm gonna say 25.
Oh, you think next year? Okay.
Yep.
So like, if you're saying that, so like, we're talking Gears, Fable, and Doom as a 2025 slate so far.
That sounds good.
That's impossible.
That's solid.
Not
That's absolutely impossible.
And GTA on the other side, like
right. That's
literally.
not happening. Yeah.
What if? It
Yeah,
does?
but this is just from an Xbox perspective. Those are way too many humongous games.
When was the last Gears?
5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think 2026 is realistic and reasonable.
I'm if I were a betting man, I mean, Justin called that they would buy Activision Blizzard, so maybe
Yeah.
I'd go with him.
Yeah.
But if I were a realistic man, which I do believe so about myself, I'm with Cicero. 2026. I think this is a 2026 game. Which again,
January 1st, you just watch and see.
Right.
you know what it is? A 2024 game, Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Oh yeah,
They
I heard of
kind of
that.
fully revealed it. It's a thing. I mean, the power Game Pass, right? Like, I think I'm kind of back into like the multiplayer swing. Maybe even dabble in the zombies. Maybe talk about the campaign, but this was a good showing. I think this may have been a great showing. I think the updates that they're doing are compelling. It's just different than some of the Call of Duties that we have in the past with like the omnidirection thing that they're doing with your movement and everything. And yeah, it just seems like Xbox didn't make the mistake that they did with Redfall with this one. It kind of seems like they kind of came in, maybe helped out a little bit, but just it feels different to me as far as
there is a proven track record, right? Like the reason that this deal was made, the reason that they spent $8 billion or whatever it was for this company was
70 billion.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah.
8 billion.
80 billion, 70 billion. Whatever the amount
Only a
of
little
money,
bit.
Yeah, whatever the amount of money it was that they spent to acquire this company, the reason they did it was for this title.
Yes.
Right? So you're not going to spend that kind of money to buy this specific title and then be like, I know how to fix it. No, you bought it because it's not broken, right? Like they've got a system. It works. It's printing money. Let them continue to do that. So that's exactly what they did. And they have innovated in ways that make people stand around and go, oh, yeah. Oh, you can't sprint backwards. Yeah, you're right. You can't do that. You can't jump in any direction. Why couldn't you do that? Well, now you can. Oh, okay. That's cool. And there's all these different innovations that they're adding. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're changing Prestige to be like it was before when you did it like this. And like, oh, okay. Like, these are things that make me like pleasantly look forward to the next release. And I think it goes without saying, the barrier of entry is significantly lowered now. Mm-hmm. And as a result, it makes it a super easy no-brainer to want to play this game.
Barely an inconvenience.
Right.
Justin, Justin, you said in our family chat, between us three and Jelly, that you're thinking you're back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I said Call of Duty's got the duck back. Like after this deep dive, I think without the deep dive it would have been rougher, but with the deep dive it really did just change my mind. I've been sworn off of Call of Duty for a long time. Like I played Warzone here and there to try it out and see the updates and stuff, but I never played the name of the show, Call of Duty, any of the games for a long time. But Treyarch always has a soft spot for me. So I think it was the culmination of all these different things, the way that they brought it to the showcase, the way they're bringing back the nostalgia and the past, prestige levels and the movement improvements. It all it struck chords with almost every one of my hearts, and I was like, yeah, I'm back.
How many hearts do you have?
Yeah, the chords of all my hearts. That's how it's.
I mean, Justin, the let's call a spade. I mean, it's the Game Pass of it all, because like every single year, it's hard to justify. It's kind of like, I mean, Cicero, you'll disagree, but. Or maybe you won't, because you swore off 2K, but like every single year it's harder and harder to justify $60 for the same gameplay, same
absolutely
mechanics, same $60-$70 at this
I
point.
didn't buy it last year. I didn't buy
stuff.
Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, so like
I had it.
but,
I had it a couple of years ago. I played that one.
Exactly.
I really enjoyed it. The next one came out. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of either I'm burnt out, or I'm not interested in spending more money right now to chase the dragon, right? To chase this rabbit down the prestige hole, down the weapon level grinding and all of those other 100%. Things. It's not worth the money to me to do all of that stuff and keep up with the Joneses. But if I'm not spending any money, I can jump in and I can play and I can have a good time. And if the game falls out of favor with me, or the game, the skill level of the game passes me by at some point in the future, then I just lament the fact that, you know what, I can't play this game anymore, and I move on. But X Defiant shows that if the game is good, the gameplay is good, and the barrier of entry is low, then there are people like me that will play your game pretty heavily. Yeah. And find some enjoyment in it. And if the game is better, that makes it a lot easier.
Exactly. And and just with all these updates and that they're doing, and I think they're doing great things for the community, bringing back awesome stuff like the Prestige system that we all know and love, that strike all the chords of all our hearts. Then, and as Cicero said, the barrier entry is low. Like, Call of Duty is back in a way that even speaks volumes to the pros, like to Scump, to Nadeshot, to all those guys. Like, Game Pass changes that. It really does. And like, I mean, to be frank, maybe the business model won't be working within the next couple years. You never know. But
they'll revamp it. It'll have to change.
For right now, it's very good for Call of Duty as a brand. I will always say that. And yeah, awesome.
My one worry is this, that because it is going to be so easy for people to play the game, that the toxicity that is pervasive in Call of Duty games will be even worse.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that was one of our debate, things that we talked about during one of the shows previously.
Yeah, not
let's
this
talk
show.
about how
no debates.
There was a little kind of nod to Blockbuster in one of the maps. Did you see this fast forward movie video rental store?
I did not. I missed that.
Instead of please, be
so
kind,
funny.
rewind, it was fast forward movie rental, like VHS tapes.
Nice.
And it's basically Blockbuster. Like they changed it to red, but it is. It's supposed to be like, this is my origin story. The duck is from this.
What's a VHS? Okay.
What's
Well, guys, oh man, this was a long podcast. No debates.
There was a lot of
none. Stuff. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it goes without saying that the industry is in a rough spot right now. But at the end of the day, there's stuff to play. There's indie developers that are making wonderful games to come alongside these AAA experiences, quadruple A experiences in Perfect Dark, But all in all, this stuff just gets us excited for the future, and we're just gonna have a blast playing these games. So, hey, that's been Test Your Might, episode 152 or 3. I don't know. I didn't change
52.
the doc.
52.
I changed it to 52. Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you. Anyway, this has been Test Your Mind 152. All the showcase news from this past week Thank you for sticking with us for the almost 2-hour episode.
Right.
Almost. For Cicero, for Justin, my name is Mike. This is Test Your Mind 152 again. Goodbye.
No to say goodbye yet. I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are listening right now, including the fathers that are here today.
Thank you, Cicero. I'm back at you.
Yeah. Well,
Fine,
you know what?
Be cool like that.
Yeah. We did it.
Yes, happy Father's Day. No episode next week, probably, because of Father's Day. So. And I'm in Mexico. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.